Why build your new home using yesterday's technology?
Hi, I'm Bob Martin, president of Reddi. It typically costs about $300 a month to heat a 2,500 square foot home. With Reddi's unique construction methods and materials, we can reduce that cost to $300 per year. You can't afford to ignore the advantages of Reddi.
In the next 30 minutes, I want to explain why your next custom-built home should be built with Reddi. I will demonstrate how you can greatly reduce or eliminate heating costs in addition to living in a state-of-the-art, super quiet, super strong, tornado-resistant, healthy, mold and fungus-free, fire-resistant home. This program will convince you that your next home must be built with Reddi.
Before building your dream home, learn how to construct a healthier, stronger, safer home and save big on energy cost.
Bob, I understand as a builder that you have a lot of innovations that are exhibited in your model home here. I wonder if you could start by telling me about, say, this floor, for example.
Sure. This floor is a radiant heated floor, and we have lots of insulation underneath this, about R21, and underneath the insulation it's sitting on 12 inches of pea stone. We've done everything that we can to stop the earth from drawing the heat through this floor. In tests that we've done, we find that the average basement floor consumes about 13.4 BTUs per square foot per hour. That's millions of BTUs a year. And actually, the floor will absorb 50 times more heat than what you lose through the attic. Because we're insulating the attic's good, we also need to insulate underneath the floor.
Now, I understand that this floor right here uses a special type of concrete, and it's has a level factor that's not usually exhibited by floors of this type.
Yeah. 2 years ago, while I was in France, I saw them using this concrete, and I was just amazed where 2-3 people are pouring enormously large floors. And so we've been going back and forth trying to get it here, and we got it through our local supplier. It comes from France. It's Lafarge. And this cement is absolutely unbelievable. You put it down, and it levels itself. It's just beautiful to work with. We put a laser in this floor, and it's within 1/16 of an inch everywhere. It's as close as we can measure. And as you can see, it's nice, hard cement, and so far it hasn't even developed a crack. I'm sure it will, but it has not as of yet.
So then the concrete is the heart of your floor, but underneath the concrete, you've got your heating system. Is that?
Well, yes. Actually, the heating system is right at the bottom of the concrete. It's cast right into the concrete, and underneath that is a product called Insultarp, which has R value 11. It's mostly reflective. We don't really care about R value very much. We care about emissivity value. For example, most of your heat is lost through radiation, and R value doesn't measure that. If you were to set up a camera with an infrared hit on it and photograph a home, in the wintertime you'd see every stud, every 2x4. That's because the heat is going through them at such a rapid rate, and it's the gamma rays, same kind of rays we get from the sun. Well, about maybe 70-80% of our heat loss is through gamma ray radiation, and we don't even have a means of measuring that. And so our whole factor in building this house is to reflect those gamma rays. That's why we have all the foam walls. The windows are special windows. They're Hurd heat mirror windows, and they're called heat mirror because they reflect back the heat because of the gamma rays. All the floors in this house are all steel and concrete. We won't have to worry about them burning, twisting, rotting, cracking. The steel is also much stronger than wood, much, much stronger. And the beauty of it is it won't mold, it won't give us any bacteria or fungus. That's another prime ingredient with this home here. There are now 464,000 lawsuits in the American court systems over moldy homes. I've been in these homes, I've inspected them. The problems are real. And so we're doing everything possible to eliminate mold. These foam basements, they do not generate water because you take an ordinary concrete basement where heat meets cold, you're always producing water. No
Now,
matter,
this is not your conventional home. You have
No.
concrete and styrofoam walls and sheet metal.
yes. The sheet metal served its function when the concrete above it was hardened. We just, it just was used as a base to hold the concrete from flowing through. And it's the concrete above the sheet metal now that's doing the job. We reinforced the concrete up there, and it's all pre-stressed. The amazing part of it is that right now, the concrete literally is not even touching the steel. It's carrying its own weight by being pre-stressed.
So these joists are providing not only support, but they're also framing for your ceiling that you're going to have.
Yes, yes, and we're just getting ready now to start installing drywall. Channels right here are what we call hat channels, and we're putting them every 16 inches on center, and they serve two functions. One is that we'll mount the drywall to that, and then the other is they hold the beams in alignment, the steel beams in alignment. This is a Dietrich floor system here, and this is a very nice floor system. And as you can see, there's lightning holes provided through all the floor joists. And the incredible thing is that it's stronger with the holes than it is without the holes. And that's where we run our plumbing through and our electric through. These orange lines that you see here are heat coil lines, and some of them are water lines too. The blue lines back here in the back, for example, is our cold water drinking lines, and the red is the hot water lines. They're just going in now. We're not using any copper anywhere in the house.
Bob, we have excellent clearance in this basement, and we have our cold water, our hot water, and our electricity going through the floor joists.
Yes, the floor joists are made to accommodate the utilities and plumbing also, and it's just a beautiful way to go. And the amazing part of it is that the joists are actually stronger with the holes in them than without. So it accommodates all the trades, and it's a beautiful way to hide all your mechanicals.
Does the foam basement present any off-gassing problems in the event of a fire?
No, the only off-gassing that we would have in the event of a fire would be carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. But if wood would burn, you have over 100 different kinds of chemicals. The beauty of it is that it's very fire resistant. It's treated with Tedlar, which is boric acid crystals or borax. And we've had buildings where the attached garage has burned right off of the house, and it got up to the foam wall and stopped. Fire got up there and stopped. So it has excellent fire retention qualities. We have a home that totally burned down in Clarkston over here, and the entire house fell into the basement, burned. Even the basement posts were totally melted and folded right over, but yet the basement was still good. And we had to, they did some testing on it. They cut some concrete out and had it tested as good as ever. And there's a new home right on top of it right now. And that was quite a testimonial to the product.
About the energy, safety, and health features of a Reddi wall custom-built home.
Sure. Well, we'll start with energy. Because we have 4 inches of foam, 2 inches on the inside and 2 inches on the outside. And this foam reflects back. The heat does not go through it. You know how good a coffee cup is. Well, we've got 4 inches of identical same material. So we are extremely energy efficient. We have the floors insulated underneath the floors with about R20. And I'll show you when we get upstairs, but our attic is insulated with foam and with insulation on top of that yet. And we have factories that are 70 by 100 that are heating for under $200 a year. So, and we have a lot of homes out there that have $10, $15 average heat bills. And of course, the more your furnace has to run, the more electric you use. So we save 2 ways, both on the fuel and on electric. And this house right here will be a solar home. So We're not looking to burn any fuel at all, and we'll do what we can to help clean up the environment. So we feel pretty good about this. We don't produce any mold or fungus or bacteria with our homes, and that's one of the biggest problems that there is now. Most homes wouldn't pass OSHA air standard test. The average new home, brand new, is starting out with 288 parts of bacteria and mold per cubic meter of air, and 200 is the evacuation point for OSHA on commercial buildings. But lots of times it goes up to 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 parts. And if you can smell mold or mildew or must or anything, you're well over 3,000 parts. So, you know, it's way, way, way above anything that's permitted. Now we're having terrible problems with this black mold. You've been reading about that in homes, Stachybotrys it's called. This thing is in Cleveland, was found in the lungs of 117 of the babies that they did autopsies on who died from infant death crib syndrome. So they find it in old people. It causes lesions. It causes all kinds of problems. And so we're learning so much more. But whatever we can do to eliminate mold and fungus and bacteria, we're doing it. So that's one of our primary goals. And these are very, very safe homes. We've been tornado tested. We know that we can pass the projectile test from flying objects. Our walls are just extremely strong, and they'll last for centuries. It's common to find bacteria levels 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 in homes. I've seen basements as high as 10,000. So these problems are real, and they're easily avoidable. And so we're going to do everything that we can to make a healthy home, an energy efficient home, and a safe home to live in.
Well, thanks, Bob. Let's take a look at some of the rest of the home.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go upstairs here next. I'll show you what we're doing up there.
Can you tell us about the features and advantages of steel construction?
Sure. Well, you know, steel, it lasts forever. It doesn't rot, doesn't twist. We've got this good galvanizing now that goes on them. It's called galvanneal. Even if you cut it, it'll reseal itself. With wood, when it dries, they warp, they twist, they crack. And also wood is fungus food. It's cellulose, and that's what feeds bacteria and molds. And the inside of walls many times becomes just a giant fungus farm. That doesn't happen with the steel. And they're very strong. Each one of these, for example, is rated for 3,500 pounds, many times that of a 2x4.
Let's go down and look at this construction here.
And the beauty of it is all the boxes are beautifully grounded. The house the steel provides a wonderful ground for stray currents. Also, we put grommets in here, and the grommets prevent the wires from chafing as the electricians pull them through. That's code also, by the way. But it's easy to wire. All the holes for the wiring is already there. We'd use the same grommets, for example, if we were running water lines through also. Here we have a typical water line connection. And in this house here, we're running all the mains on 3/4 inch, and then the secondaries that come off are 1/2 inch. We'll also be running fire sprinkler lines off of this, fire suppression lines. It's a real easy thing to do, and it's a nice safety factor, especially for the kitchen and such. So we'll tap our cold water line, and we have a great big tank downstairs, 4 or 5 times larger than you'd put in most homes. And the reason for that is that if we lost power or whatever, we had a fire, we have quite a bit of water to put it out. So we'll have all fire suppression in here and in the laundry room and down this quarter and in the bedroom. And just a real simple system, just right off of the cold water main. So it's a beautiful deal. You just clamp them together. They're all pre-made fittings. And the nice thing about this plastic pipe, it's so easy to route. You know, with copper, you got to come with all these bends and fittings, and the potential for leak is horrible. Another thing about the copper, you know, now they're finding out that lead is so bad for us. Well, this doesn't have any lead in it, and it's very easy to route. It's quiet. Another thing about copper, when it expands and contracts, it's creaking all the time and making noise. That doesn't happen here. Copper sweats when it's on temperature change. This is much less prone to do any sweating, and it's well insulated, so it'll hold the hot water hotter and the cold water colder.
Bob, I noticed that in your living room you've got a concrete floor.
Yes. Well, all of our floors in this house are concrete, and concrete has a lot of beautiful advantages. Once again, it's not food, fungus, and mold. Extremely strong, and it has thermal mass. The heat, we could lose all heat in this house literally for days and still have enough heat stored in the concrete mass to carry us through. Another beautiful thing about it is that we are totally isolated. We would never get a fire going up through the floors. There's nothing there to burn, and it would stop any fire penetration. So because of the thermal mass, because of the fire protection, we decided to use concrete, and because there's nothing there to feed mold or bacteria or fungus. So that's our choices, and that's why the concrete. An interesting thing here too, we heat these steel floor joists. As you can see, these red-orange pipes coming through. They're bolted right inside of these channels right here, and the steel is heated by the hot water, and that heats the concrete and heats the floor. And it's all perfectly quiet. There's no moving parts to it. It's a very simple system, and it's been used in Europe ever since the Romans. And in Europe, in fact, this is the standard. They can't believe that we use forced air, because we can reduce our energy consumption by about a factor of 5 by using hot water radiant over forced air. And we don't have any air currents in the house. We don't have dust or dirt circulating. We're not scrubbing the windows and pulling the heat off the windows. And we don't have that noise. So there's just lots and lots of advantages.
The heart of the heating system right here, this is an 80-gallon electric hot water heater. However, it's not connected to electric because the water is warmed by the sun. This hot water heater here will be connected, and this is what we'll use for our domestic water. The water simply goes out this line here to the roof panels where it gets heated, and it's returned here, and it's stored in the hot water tank. When one of the sections of the house gets a little bit cold, one of these valves will open up as the thermostat tells it to, turn this pump on, and then heat that section of the house. To protect our water system, we have a backflow preventer and a pressure regulator, and we cut the pressure down to 15 pounds, and the backflow preventer prevents water from going backwards. So we have low pressure water in this one and high pressure water in the rest of the system. And so basically that's how the system works. You have a little expansion tank on the top to make up for thermal expansion of the water. And we have the capability of adding more zones later on. We can heat the garage floor, we can heat the driveway with this, and the front porch, and all the floors in the house.
Bob, what are the advantages of your pool room?
Well, one is it's a nice recreation thing, and we'll have the use of it year-round, not just a month or two in the wintertime. And also, it's going to be all solar heated. There'll be all solar panels on this roof right here, as there is on the garage roof on the other side. And the floor of this pool is super insulated. We've got about R30 underneath the floor, and the walls are about R30, and it's separated with an airspace in between. So we're also going to use this to store hot water, which we can store and use to heat the home over long periods of time. Say, for example, you had a month or something like that where the sun didn't come out. We've got a tremendous storage here, another thermal mass. All the walls in here are all foam, and where heat meets cold is where you condensate, but because they're foam, we're not going to have that condensation. The whole ceiling will be all sealed off with plastic, and there'll be foam underneath that, 2 inches of foam underneath all these trusses, and then it'll be all foam insulation above that.
So the pool serves as a heat holding tank.
Yes, yeah, we're going to use it as a holding tank also. And we believe we have plenty of heat from the sun to heat it.
And in Michigan, explain how we're going to do that.
Well, you know, even we've been running tests now for 2 years on solar ovens, and we don't have any problem at all generating 250 degrees of heat on December 21st. So the sun is there to give us about 800, 900 BTUs of heat per square foot per hour or more. The secret is collecting it. So what we do is we put a collector at a favorable angle to the sun, and then we like to use a black metal type collector, and then we put a sheet of glass over the top of that so that we don't lose that through just convection currents, and then we heat water underneath it. So, but the sun, you know, every day we receive more heat from the sun on the outside of our house than what we use in the house by a large margin.
And Reddi Wall converts that to energy.
Right. Here we're getting ready to pour a concrete floor in here, and the concrete will go up to the top of that coping. These are heat coils that's in the line, and then there will be rebar in here also just for additional strength. So this whole floor will be heated also, so it'll be warm to walk on, and it'll be additional heat sink, and
it'd be great for those cold winter pool parties.
Right. So we're looking forward to it, and it's just one of our little spoils in the house here. This is the concrete siding right here. Here's a piece of it. It's made out of concrete. It's really a wonderful product. It's made by Certainteed. And this product here has a 50-year warranty on it. They even guarantee the stain on it for 20 years. And it doesn't warp, it doesn't twist or crack. It's extremely fire resistant. And it'll outlast most everything that's out there in the market now. And seeing how this is a concrete home, we wanted to top it off with concrete siding. So we're excited about it, and we like it.
And hailstones?
Oh yeah, I've seen demonstrations where they shot golf balls against it, and this would be much more resistant to hail than would vinyl or aluminum siding. And you know, with vinyl siding, when it gets 25 years old or so, it's all weather checked. And another thing, that if you ever seen a house fire where they had vinyl siding, boy, that stuff turns gasoline, turns to fuel when it gets hot enough. And you take aluminum siding, if you ever caught in a hailstone storm, it's just ruined. And after a few years, it gets to looking pretty tacky and pretty rough, you know. And the expansion rate on it is extreme. You see buckles all over in the sun on either vinyl or aluminum. And as you can see here, we're right in the full sun, and there are no buckles anywhere in this project.
Explain to us the features of your laminate plastic deck.
Well, this is a new material out, and it has a very long life. They claim it'll last 50 years or more. It doesn't warp, twist, crack, or burn. It's fire treated. It's very, very strong, and the color stays. Doesn't need any treating at all, any paint or stain or anything like that.
How does it compare with womanized wood?
Oh, it's quite a bit more. It is more. But you know, with womanized wood, 4 or 5 years, and the deck looks pretty rough already. And they require a lot of maintenance, a lot of maintenance. It costs a lot of money to stain those things all the time and pressure wash them and clean them up. And
so in the long run, we're saving money.
Right.
Bob, is there any reason why a person wouldn't consider building a Reddi Wall home?
Well, the only reason why a person wouldn't use it would be lack of knowledge and lack of information. If a person has the facts will dictate that you must go this way. The cost of operation is so much less. The house is so fire resistant. It's so strong. It's tornado proof. The longevity is there. They'll last for centuries. The energy consumption is just a fraction of what a normal home would be, and the health aspects. It's so much of there's non-detectable levels of bacteria and mold and fungus in these homes. So it's a much healthier home to live in, and so a person armed with the right information would have to make this choice. Any logical thinking person would go this way.
Bob, what about the cost and energy saving factors?
That's where we excel. The savings on a 2,500 foot home, for example, is over $250,000 over the period of the mortgage. And you can save enough money to pay the mortgage off about 11 years early, or enough to send the kids to college. And there's other savings too besides just the heat savings, because your furnace doesn't run so much, and air conditioner. Our customers don't even use their air conditioners. We have customers who have homes that are 5-6 years old and have no idea if their air conditioner works because it's never went off. So there's tremendous energy savings by not running an air conditioner, by not running a heat pump, for example, or a furnace. It's just, it all compounds and it amounts to big money.
Bob, how about cost and resale?
Sure. The cost of building a Reddi home is about the same as building a home with 2x6 wood. At the outside, it'd be 1 or 2% more, but no more than that. And we have found that in other states, for example, where the energy now is very high, the resale of the home is dictated by, one, the mortgage payment plus the utility bill. And because our utility bills are so low, the resale occurs so much faster and at a premium price over what a conventional home sells for. And our resales have been very, very good on the homes that we have out there. They've not been on the market very long at all.
Reddi can function in warm and cold climates?
Oh boy, that's where we're really excited. You know, we built some test modulars down in Mission, Texas, and Stuart, Florida. We monitored the temperature for a year, and we know that we can build in the South without air conditioning, just by using the thermal mass that's already in the soil. The soil is basically about 70 degrees down in Florida and about 68 down in Texas, and we can incorporate that thermal mass and use that to maintain very, very, very stable temperatures. And so our next big push is going to be in the South. It actually costs more to cool the home down there than it does the heat one up here.
So we're using the Earth's mass to cool a home.
Right, and like up here, for example, we insulate our basement floor to prevent the floor from pulling the heat out of the house. But down there, the soil temperature is desirable, so there we can use it to heat the house. It's just the reverse. And we work with architects all the time also. There's all kinds of buildings being built around the country with Reddi now, designed to be healthy and efficient. And we're working with some architects on building factories and schools and churches, and we got a big theater going now. Any kind of building we can build. In commercial buildings, we'll reduce the energy consumption by 80-90%. And we're just thrilled about that we're able to do that.